if you're thinking about a Christmas tree, think about this. Instead of just getting a cut tree or, God forbid, an artificial tree, what I'd like you to think about is how about putting in a balled and burlapped or a potted spruce and bring that into the house and use that as your Christmas tree. You're only going to keep it in for a short time, and that you plant it outside after Christmas. Now, don't think because it's going to be growing. You don't want it to grow in your house because when you remember, it's nice out right now. We've had a great stretch of weather, but it's going to get cold. Think January, that when you put it outside, it's going to be cold. So here's what you got to do. First, dig the hole. Yes, dig the hole now, because the problem is if you dig it when it's time to plant it, the ground may be frozen solid and you'll be using a pickaxe and you'll be doing all this other stuff. Dig the hole now. Take a piece of plywood, put it over the hole so you don't lose anybody falling in the hole. All right, so you want to make sure that you dig the hole now. What do you do with the soil? Don't leave it outside. Leave it in the wheelbarrow. Bring it into your garage, and then that way, when you go to backfill around your tree, it's not frozen solid clumps. You with me? All right. Now, spray the tree with Wilt Stop. Wilt Stop. Chapstick for your plants. Okay? You got to follow the label instructions. A fancy word, anti-transparent, what it does, it basically encapsulates the needle so that it doesn't let off a lot of the moisture out of the plant. I don't care if you have a cut tree or a live B&B tree, but you want to do that either way. Now, don't bring your B&B tree, and B&B, what does it stand for? Balled and burlapped. It could be in a plastic pot, that's a container, but when it's done in burlap, it's called B&B. Don't leave it in your house too long. The shorter you have it in the house, the better. I say only a week. Like you bring it in just before Christmas and you take it in right after Christmas or right after New Year's. You don't want it in the house more than a week. It has to acclimate out of your house if it's real warm or you've had it in too far. You almost have to take it out in stages, like put it in the garage for a couple of days and then move it out so it doesn't go right from 70 degree temperature all the way to 20 degree temperatures, because you can kill it that way. That's the biggest killer. And also make that room the coolest room in the house. You got to shut those vents off. You don't want heat blasting on your tree. It's really important that you try to accommodate the tree. And even on a cut tree, if you cut down the amount of heat that's in that room, your tree is going to hold up a whole lot better. Watering. It's a houseplant. It may be a spruce or it may be a Douglas fir or maybe something else, but it's a houseplant. It's in your house and it's a plant. You're going to have to water it, but don't go and just water it. You're going to, first of all, when you bring that plant in, like metal buckets that they use, like usually throw sodas in at parties and stuff like that.
Sure.
That you're going to place the root ball of the tree in one of those. And I want you to go and find those beach towels. I know it's off season. Find those beach towels that you had, and I want you to saturate those beach towels so that it is what gets watered and it keeps that moisture around it. I've had people that have come to me and said, I've got 5 gallons of water that is in my tub. What am I supposed to do? And it's killing the plant. The plant doesn't have a good shot of living. Plants don't drink water like we do, okay? It's moisture that they derive from the root system. So you just have to keep it moist. A container tree, you don't necessarily need to put it in a bucket. You could do it in a saucer, but again, you have that same issue. You're going to water it more like a house plant than with the, a B&B tree, you're going to do the towels. With the container tree, you're just going to water the root system, but you want to make sure that it's not in any standing water at any time. Every other day, something like that. But again, you don't want to keep it in long. And when you take it out from your living room, then you bring it into your garage, you let it sit there for a couple of days, get used to that acclimation back to the outdoor temperatures. And then when it's time to do the deed, you take it in and you put it in the hole and you install it the same way we are, twice the size of the bottom is what you should have dug that hole. You bring that soil from the garage, you mix it with bumper crop, pack it all around the root system, and you're going to push it down real firm so that it doesn't blow in those winter weeds and tip over. And you should have a great success. I know families that they basically plant one when each one of their kids, and they go on rotation and they end up with a beautiful screen, not of arborvitae, but they have a beautiful screen of blue spruce or a Norway spruce or a mixture of Norway and Douglas, and it looks like a natural setting. It's a great idea to kill two birds with one stone. You've got your Christmas tree, and now you've got a nice screen started. Again, do it, but you have to do it right. Don't leave it in the house for too long. Any questions, Aaron?
No.
There you go.